welcome back to another video. And yes, as you can tell, I have shaved the beard, gone clean shaven. It's grown back a little bit. Anyway, let's get into the video. Today, we're talking about my professional roller setup and some updates I've made to it to make it even easier and more enjoyable to use. If you haven't seen the video, a few months ago, I picked up the MovMax Razor Arm, which was a massive upgrade from sitting in the boot of a car and being harnessed in and getting rollers that way, allegedly. The only real problem I had was the controlling system and the monitoring system I had running for that setup. I was using an actual Xbox controller that was connected to the DJI gimbal, which, don't get me wrong, it absolutely worked, as well as using the Atomos Shinobi monitor, which was like mounted up onto the front car windshield, which then had the DJI transmission mounted on it as well, suction cupped onto the windshield. And this setup absolutely worked. It was the most budget version of the setup I could have gone with, since I did pay all of that money to get the actual MovMax Razor Arm. I went pretty budget on the actual monitoring and controlling setup. That's where the first update for this setup comes in, the new MovMax InControl controller. So let's get this thing unboxed and check it out. And there we have it, the new MovMax InControl controller. It looks so nice. It has like a vintage look and feel to it. Massive upgrade from the Xbox controller. We're gonna quickly run through some features that the InControl has, and then I'm gonna show you my full controlling and monitoring setup using the InControl as a base. So this is how the controller comes. This is how it looks, but the handles on the side can actually be taken off. You can unscrew them. You can unscrew the handles on both sides and mount the grips in several different positions that you would prefer to hold and is more comfortable in your hand. Using the extra 1/4 inch screw mounts, we've got 3 on the bottom and 3 on the top, as well as 1 on the left side and 1 on the right side to put the grips on in the original position. I like having the grips in this position, the original position. It just feels the best in my hands. It feels so nice. And turning it off sounds like that. We have a record button, a gimbal recentering / repositioning button, as if you were to double click the trigger on the gimbal. This is really useful to recenter the gimbal when you're getting rollers. The left joystick here is to control the roll of the gimbal, and the right joystick controls the pan and the tilt of the gimbal. Next, on top of the controller, we have these little switches that you can flick and change between. And basically these change the direction of whatever input you put into the roll, tilt, or pan joysticks. If you want the gimbal to start panning to the left, you move the pan joystick towards the left. But with these switches here, you can change the direction of that input. So if I was to change the pan switch here, now when I push the pan to the left, it's actually gonna turn right. So remember in video games, you could select in the settings whether you want pushing to the left or looking up and down to go in the same direction as you're going, or when you push down, it goes up. That's basically what these settings are doing here, and you can change all of those modes and settings on your preferred configuration. The way I have mine set up though, if I'm pushing the joystick to the left, it's gonna pan to the left. If I'm pushing up, it's gonna start tilting up. And if I roll to the left or right, it's gonna roll to the left or right. So I have everything going in the natural way. Underneath those switches, we have some knobs where you can control the roll, tilt, and pan speed straight from the controller without having to go into the gimbal settings and change things around in the gimbal. So while I'm out shooting, I'd be able to go, oh, the pan is way too fast, and turn it down. And then we have a smooth up pan speed. Or if suddenly the subject is gonna do a flyby, I'm able to quickly turn up just the pan super fast and easily do a fast flyby and track that subject throughout the shot. Same with the roll and tilt, they all have their own adjustable speed settings, which is just so sick, being able to do everything straight from the controller. And then we have the antenna on top, which is sending the signal to this receiver right here, which gets mounted onto the gimbal. So I'm using the DJI RS4 Pro, and you just want to mount the receiver onto either side of these mounting points right here. As you can see, they have these little connections, mounts right onto there. And it will work being mounted on either side of the gimbal. You just want to make sure the antenna is pointing kind of in the direction that the screen is, if that makes sense. So if it's on this side, it's still pointing backwards that way, and this side pointing backwards that way, going in the direction of the screen. Now we can move on to my controller and monitoring setup. So obviously I use the MovMax InControl as the base, and because of the 1/4 inch screw mounts on the bottom and the top, I mount my new Portkeys LH5P2 monitor on top using those 1/4 inch screw mounts, and on the bottom I mount my DJI SDR RX transmission system. And there there we go. That is the setup. Everything I need to control and monitor the shots in my hands, all connected to the MovMax InControl controller. In the previous setup, I was using the Atomos Shinobi monitor, and the Atomos Shinobi 1, you cannot control the camera settings from the monitor. Okay. Exposure's good, let's do it. So that's why I decided to go out and purchase the Portkeys LH5P2 monitor. This monitor allows me to change the settings like the shutter speed, aperture, ISO, white balance, everything like that, as well as touch to focus tracking on the monitor. So previously I was just hoping that the autofocus mode I had set up was focusing on the subject I needed it to, and a lot of the times it wasn't doing that. So now that I have touch to focus tracking on the Portkeys LHP5 monitor, I'm able to be like, there's a subject, touch to focus, and the subject will stay in focus no matter if they're off in the left side of the frame, the right side of the frame, or in the center of the frame. It's going to keep tracking them along. As you can tell, I am super happy with this setup. The other day I went on a video shoot with Mojito and he requested to get professional rollers, and that was the perfect time for me to test out the new InControl setup. We started off with some stationary cinematics and then moved on to some FPV drone shots over the bridge, and then it was finally time to get the professional rollers with the setup. Okay, look at this, Tom, ready? Recording. Don't have to jump out of the car. I need to adjust the different pan, tilt, and roll speeds, and I can just do it right from this controller, which is so good. It is like partially raining, so hopefully the setup holds up. This feels so nice. I'm gonna touch to focus on him. Oh, this is amazing. This controller, oh my gosh. This is gonna look insane over the bridge, man. Oh, let's turn this music down, copyright. Oh, it's traffic. Oh, nah, are we doing that?
Can't go through this.
Let's just go back. I feel like we'll be fine with rain. Let's take the next turn, because that's nuts. So we decided to head south and get some rollers along a highway until we were met with an incredible amount of traffic, and we decided to turn around and risk it, head back to the bridge. Hopefully the rain stopped, and it didn't stop. It just got heavier. It just started raining like crazy all of a sudden, so go see the damage. Let's just run it. Let's run it. Camera's fine. The only thing that would be, yeah, it's all weather sealed and. Okay.
Oh, I can't feel any of that. I'm pretty dry. I'm dry underneath. Yeah.
There's a whole squad behind us. We'll have to just get the better shot on the way back. It's pretty busy, damn. The equipment's good. I'm not too bothered about the rain. It's all DJI stuff. Pretty sure it's all pretty well weather sealed, so I'm not too bothered. It's holding up good. Keep shooting. We'll turn all the stuff back on. Oh, a bit of sun, looking good. All right, everything's still working. I think we're chilling. The rain's kind of stopped as well, so that's good. We just got caught in that random bit of rain, which is annoying, but shoot goes on. Oh yeah. Sick.
That's a shot, right? And here as well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, fire. Dude.
Yep, no traffic.
Brother's getting soaked. Oh yeah, that's ominous. And unfortunately my behind the scenes camera died, so we just continued to get some nice rollers with the setup. I'll put a quick clean cinematic edit together of all the footage we got from that shoot. Mysterious edit I made out of this shoot because it was a super gloomy, rainy day, and that just fit the vibe. If you want to check out the official edits I made from this shoot, head over to Mojito's Instagram, this is Mojito, and show some support there. I'm really happy with the edits. I wasn't able to show the full capabilities of the controller in this video because obviously the weather was terrible. We don't want to be going super fast in that type of weather and possibly having accidents, so we had to be pretty chill for this one, but I can definitely see all the possibilities that this controller opens up. Besides the terrible weather we faced taste, and actually all the equipment did surprisingly very well in the rain. I am super happy with how the shots turned out using the MovMax razor arm and the new InControl controller, as well as my new monitor. This thing is so good. And I think for now, that is gonna complete my professional cinematic roller setup. It's still pretty budget compared to some of the like movie grade rolling setups that companies have, but this setup is doing the job. It's super easy and enjoyable to use. It literally feels like I'm chilling in the car, it's raining outside, playing a little video game on my amazing little monitor and controller setup. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review video of the MovMax InControl controller. If you have a roller setup and you're still using an Xbox controller or some other third-party controller, definitely consider picking up the InControl from MovMax. If you want to get inspired and learn more about making cinematic videos, click this video up here and I'll see you over there.